All right, hey everybody, it is Wednesday evening's edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. What a much improved day out there today. Yes, we started out cloudy and damp first thing this morning, but it turned out to be a fairly sunny afternoon, even a little sunnier than I thought it would be. As a result, temperatures warmed a little more than I thought they would. Yesterday we had a bust on the low end. Today, the temperatures, I should say, outpaced the forecast by a handful of degrees. We approached 60 by the end of the afternoon in a lot of the valley. Nothing like on this date back in 2002, a very significant late season winter wallop on March 25th, 2002. We had 6.1 inches worth of snow on that date. This can happen at this time of the year. Not happening this year, but as you know, in our part of the country, late March, even into the first week or two of April, sometimes winter wants to kind of punch us in the face one more time. Here's a look at the seasonal total so far at the Youngstown Warren Airport in Vienna. We're at 42.9 for the season. Last year through today's date, we had 44.8, and average through March 25th is 57.9. Now, every time I post this graphic, I get comments, especially on Facebook, of people not believing, not believing the number, saying there's no way we got that much snow this winter. It hardly snowed at all. Now, you got to keep in mind a few things. Now, this is just for one location. It's in Vienna, which is in Trumbull County, of course, and getting a little bit closer to that secondary snow belt. It tends to snow quite a bit there, quite a bit more there than in a place such as Boardman or Lisbon, or certainly down towards East Liverpool. Also, keep in mind that a fair chunk of this occurred earlier in the year. We had a snowier than average November. Snow was below average for most of meteorological winter, but November was actually fairly snowy. So we're way below average, but it may surprise you, at least in some locations, just how much snow we've seen this winter. It's below average, but it is not only 8 or 10 inches, as some people think we've gotten during the snow season. All right, it is Severe Weather Awareness Week in the state of Ohio. Pennsylvania has theirs in April. This is the week in which we talk about severe weather, aspects of severe weather, some reminders about severe weather. And this evening's subject, I wanted to focus a little bit on tornadoes and how they form. It's really interesting, the science behind the formation of tornadoes, and it's an area of the science that we're still learning a lot about. The research continues, and of all the various aspects of meteorology, tornadoes is towards the bottom of the list, really, of things that we understand really well. Now, our knowledge has increased dramatically in the last few decades, but it's still one of those things that sometimes it's a little bit of a mystery, just how tornadoes form in some ways and why they track a certain way and why they behave certain ways. We know a lot, but there's still much we do not know. But some of the basics in the meteorology here, it's all about the difference in the wind direction and the wind speed between down here at the ground where we live and upstairs in the atmosphere several thousand feet. When you have winds blowing in different directions in those heights in the atmosphere, down to ground level and up several thousand feet, or even if you just have much stronger winds upstairs a few thousand feet as opposed to the ground, this can induce kind of a horizontal rotation. Now, that in and of itself is fairly harmless, but when you get thunderstorms involved and you get updrafts, rising air, rapidly rising air in forming thunderstorms, that can pull that rotation out of the horizontal and more into the vertical, and that's when we start to see some rotation at the cloud base. And when we start seeing rotation at the cloud base, a lot of times this is referred to as a wall cloud. If it is indeed rotating, we sometimes will signify that, hey, this is a rotating wall cloud. That does not mean it's a funnel cloud just yet. A funnel cloud is a further lowering of that rotation. It typically is much skinnier than that cloud base where there's a wall cloud. It typically is more of a cylinder shape and skinnier. And if that funnel cloud extends all the way down to the ground, then it's officially a tornado. It doesn't officially become a tornado until that rotation reaches the ground. There's actually, some schools of thought that suggest that tornadoes even form from the ground up almost. The rotation occurs first near the ground and then works up to the cloud base. Again, it's one of those aspects of a tornado formation that there's some debate about and certainly ongoing research about. Back here in the present, again, beautiful day today. Time lapse from Youngstown, you get the idea here. Just some fair weather, beautiful sky this afternoon with those fair weather clouds around. And we'll have a mostly clear sky overhead for Tonight, high-res visible satellite shows the progression of things today. Again, kind of a murky start. It looked kind of like yesterday, but it didn't take long for the clouds to clear out, right around 11 to 1 p.m. on average. And it's turning into a great early spring evening. Here's our next weather maker out across the middle of the country. It is right in through here. This is the front that's going to sag south and east. It's a weak front, but it'll be enough to spur some rain tomorrow night. But until tomorrow night, we're still in pretty good shape. We'll have some time to warm up ahead of that front tomorrow. I think we'll see a fair amount of sunshine in the morning, a gradual increase in clouds in the afternoon. I suspect we're dry through the daylight hours. And as a result, temperatures will respond very nicely, already getting into the mid-50s by midday. And considering the forecast bust today temperature-wise, it got a lot warmer than expected. You know, I would hedge towards the warmer end of the computer model guidance tomorrow, that is for sure. And so, you know, some of these numbers may even be a little too low. Not going to be surprised if we see a 65, 66 in parts of the area before the afternoon is through. Tomorrow, the timing on the rain is pretty good. It comes in tomorrow night and then gets out of here by about daybreak on Friday. So a good slug of rain tomorrow night. And then clouds should break for some sun at times on Friday before rain returns Friday night and heading into Saturday. Now, Saturday, as we start the weekend, is not going to be a great day. We are looking for showers just about at any point on Saturday. So your opportunities to walk the dog, get some fresh air, stretch your legs, get out of the house, as a lot of us need to do. Tomorrow, fine. Most of Friday, fine. The rain's tomorrow night. And again, Friday night and then Saturday is not looking so good with the showers. Now, there can be some residual showers off and on into Sunday, but I suspect there's more dry intervals Sunday, maybe even some sun. I think overall the bigger story Sunday, maybe the wind, which is going to strengthen as we get into the afternoon. So as we get into the midday and afternoon, some of these winds out of northwest Ohio will start pushing east, and not going to be surprised if Sunday afternoon we have some gusts of 40 plus miles per hour. So that'll be something to watch out for as we wrap up the weekend on Sunday. A turn towards a little more of a seasonal pattern as we head into next week and flip the calendar from March into April, coming up next Wednesday. Way above the average through Sunday, but then much closer to that average of about 50 or so as we head into early next week. Overall, still optimistic that next week will not be as unsettled as this week. Some of our modeling is showing a system bringing us some rain around midweek, but there's not good model agreement as of yet as to how things will transpire precipitation-wise by the middle of next week. But as it stands right now, I suspect overall next week will be a little less unsettled than this week is proving to be. That'll do it for me tonight. Thanks for watching the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast video. We'll have another update, Geeks style, coming your way Thursday. And look for a post on my weather blog, ericwfmj.com, this evening, all about Severe Weather Awareness Week.